Alrighty, guys. So I think we're live right now. I think we're all good to go. I've just been trying to set up this. Just trying to set up this. Just trying to figure out this whole thing here. So, looks like I'm live through here. Looks like everything's good to go. All right, so I think we're good to go right now, guys. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a market update today. And I thought I'd do this live instead of doing it normally. Let me see if I can set this up as well too. So I'm going to set this up. I'm going to share my screen application. All right, cool. All right, are we live? Are we good to go? Do you guys have a chat box or something there? I'm just new to this. This is me. Is there a chat box or something here? Chat. Oh, there it is. All right, cool. All right, so now I think we're good to go. I think we're getting ready. Guys, in this video, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a market update. I know I'm looking at the wrong screen here, but I'm going to give you guys a bit of a market update today and share with you what I'm seeing in the markets right now and what's actually happening on the markets as well too. So guys, give me a yes in the chat box or something there if this is working. That'd be fantastic. And then that'll be awesome as well too. Make sure this is working. All right, fantastic. So I think we're good to go. I think we are good to go. All right, guys, so I'm going to give you guys a bit of a market update right now, and hopefully this works out. So without further ado, let me get straight into. Let me share my screen with you guys. So I'm going to share my screen with you. In this video, in this session here today, guys, I'm going to do a bit of a market update, and the market update is based on, is this the start? Is this the start? I know I'm looking at the wrong screen here, guys. So, let me see if I can do this. Let me do this instead. Let me bring this camera over here like this. I'm the professional editing in this thing. There we go. I think that's a bit better. I think we're good to go here. Sound seems to be good as well too, which is great. Let me put this over here so you guys can see. Let me share my screen. Hey, I'm sharing my screen now. That's pretty cool. All right, let me share my screen. Testing here. Oh, yep, that's me. To list all available commands, enter. Oh, excuse me. All right, guys, let me get straight into it now. Guys, do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video. Trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. You know there's no guarantees to making money in the markets, and what I'm about to give you right now is just a market update, a quick live market update on what I'm seeing in the markets right now and how this is working out and what I'm seeing right now. We did have a bit of a drop in the Dow Jones just recently, so I want to give you guys a bit of a market update on what I'm seeing in the markets and what is the truth about what's actually going on right now. So hopefully you guys can see my screen there. Do you guys actually have the chat box there as well too? If you can, just let me know. I'm going to see if I can share my screen in the meantime. Do you guys have access to that chat box there? Pretty sure you do. just say hey or something like that. That way I know you got access to that. Present to everyone. Boom. All right, cool. I think we're good to go now. I think we are good to go. All right. Can you guys, I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not, but group chat. All right, anyway, I'm not getting any chat coming through here right now. So, I apologize about this, guys. I'm just trying to figure out this whole chat thing here. Chat. Control. All right, so it looks like we're live. All right, so I'll start doing a bit of market update for you guys now anyway, and hopefully you guys can see the chat in that as well too. I'm not sure if you guys can. All right, guys, let me do a quick market update. All right, guys, as I said before, do not place trade based on what you're seeing in this video here. This session today is just to help you guys understand what's happening in the markets right now when it comes to the Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, and possibly even look at the gold and silver market as well too. Now, the first thing I want to bring up now is my candlestick charts, and I want to bring up a closer view to share with you what I'm seeing right now in the markets, and why I see what I see in the markets and what's actually going on right now in the markets, right? So, in fact, you know what? Let me just do this here. So, just give me a sec, guys. Give me a sec. Give me probably about 20 seconds, and I'll be good to go. All right, share screen. Let me just share this screen through here. All right, so there you go, guys. All right, so there's the disclaimer. You know, trading is risky, etc., 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 etc. Do not place a trade based on what I'm seeing in this video here right now. Yeah, make sure you take care of yourself. All right, now let's get straight into the markets. So what I'm seeing right now, guys, in the markets, when it comes to trading and when it comes to what's happening in the Dow Jones, let me bring up, say, this one through here. Right now, we're looking at roughly, all right, cool. So what we're looking at right now, guys, is we're looking at the Dow Jones, and we're looking at the very short term of the Dow Jones. Now, the one thing that's really important to understand is that the Dow Jones actually had a bit of a gap, right? So this is the start of the top and blah, 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 all this sort of stuff. You got to get all that sort of crap on YouTube right now. I guarantee it, right? So the reason why you're going to get that is because you just don't know where, a lot of people just don't know what's really going on, right? This is the top of the market. Now, this may be the top of the market, but not right now, right? Not right now. What do we see here? We actually got a bit of a gap. And where do you see a big, massive gap on the chart that is not instantly filled within a day or two? A gap. The last gap I can see, which is actually over here, right? So, which is actually over here. This is the gap here. This is the last gap here that we see on the charts, right? We had a little bit of a gap here, but not too much. We actually had a gap here, and then that was filled very, very soon after. So we've got a bit of a gap. So that gap is likely to be filled, right? That gap is likely to be filled, and so therefore, you know, this whole thing, is this the start of the downside, et cetera, et cetera? No, this is not the start of the downside. There's no real big selling pressure right now. What I am seeing right now is if I bring up all my indicators I've been drawing, bam. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys, is that what I'm looking at right now is we see a major low through here. Okay, we see a major low. This has now made a major high. It's just having a little pullback, and you can see what's actually happened, that this whole resistance through here is now just being supported, and even supported today's market as well too, and just rallied up. I wouldn't be too surprised to see if that Monday it actually rallied up and went high as well too. So I wouldn't be too surprised to actually see that, where the market actually just rallies up and then goes high and then closes the gap from there. Now, because there is a big massive gap there. Now, there's also a big long-term Fibonacci level going in play. And so therefore, any pullback here, guys, I believe it's likely to be bought into. And I do believe, based on what I'm seeing in the charts, that we're possibly getting ready for a new all-time new highs. I know there's so many doom and gloomers out there, and I've been one of those on a chart basis. Early on, I was one of those, but now I'm just again, I was based on what I'm seeing in the charts. But now what I'm seeing on the charts is the charts is completely changing. Same with the S&P 500. Right now, this is the S&P 500, but look at the S&P 500. Big gap down. Now, is this the start of the top? Is this the start of the big move? No, it's not. Why? Because look at this here. If I draw my trend line from there to there, oh, where are we? There we go, from there to there. Now, this is looking at the short term, okay? Very, 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 very short term here. Short-term analysis says to me that this one right here, this right here, right, so my short-term analysis says we're in a big, massive upward trend. And I would not be too surprised to see this level through here broken and us close the gap early next week, possibly Monday or Tuesday, possibly even Monday, a big rally up. So this gap down right now, guys, is nothing but a continuation of the trend. Remember, you want to go with the trend, always trade with the trend. Now, if the market's making what? High, higher, high, there's not really a higher low there yet, or I'd probably say this would be the high up here. There's a little high through here, but it needs to have space, right? So you can see this big section through here. This is what you call space. And so therefore, this space through here is what you need in every single high and low. So therefore, we really haven't had that. So this has just been one big up move. A little pullback would be okay. This high up here is actually my absolute all-time new high. So I do believe we're getting ready to break up and out and continue up into a new high. There's nothing to be worried about this drop here, guys. It's a big gap. I believe that gap's going to be filled and we're likely to continue up into new highs. That's what I'm saying right now on that. And looking at the NASDAQ did pretty much nothing as well too. Let me bring up the 3-month view here. The NASDAQ actually just had a little bit of a pullback, but you can see the NASDAQ. What's the NASDAQ doing? Just continue to make what? Here's the major high. Here's a major high. Then it pulled back. Then we had this big up bar. We ran up to previous highs. Then there was a bit of resistance at that previous highs, and we're just having a bit of a pullback. There is nothing bearish about this, even if we have a bit more of a pullback. Until we break this low, this low right here, the trend is on the upside. Okay, so the trend is on the upside. There is nothing here to say that we are, yeah, so there's nothing there to say all right, yeah, so there's nothing there to say, guys, that there's going to be an all-time new high. It's going to be break up to all-time. Sorry, there's nothing there to say that this is the start of the big move down, and people should be worried and people should be fearful and all that sort of stuff. They just shouldn't be worried about that at all in the markets. And so that's basically what you want to keep an eye on for when it comes to that. Now, a quick little update on silver and gold. What's happened with those guys? Well, if I go to actual, and this is where, guys, it just comes back down to the charts. What do you see happening here on silver? Right, we had a drop down, and now we had another, not really a low, right? It just had a drop down and just going sideways. A long period of sideways through here, and now this big drop down. There's possibly a new lower high through here. If I bring up, say, 1 year worth of data, actually, let me bring up the old-time data. We can see that this level through here, which was the last previous support level through here, last previous support level is now becoming resistance, and now we're breaking back down. So, there's no buying pressure right now in gold. So definitely silver. Definitely wouldn't want to be buying silver right now. And when it comes to And when it comes to the gold market, what is it doing? Continue lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, all the way down. We are at some sort of decent support level. We're going to bring up the weekly chart here. We are at some sort of decent support level through here. So we could possibly get a bit of a bounce. But remember, guys, it's all based on what the chart's telling you. And as you can see that, let me bring this up here. This is a high, low, low. This is the low through here. This is the high low through here. We went sideways and came back down. We're now making a lower low in the markets. So we now made a lower low in the market. So I wouldn't be too surprised, even if we do get a bit of a rally up and out of this in here, then the market's likely to top and then likely to push down from there. So that's what I'm seeing right now in the markets. Again, I'm just reading what the markets are telling me. Go back to the daily chart, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, all the way down. Just trade what you see, not what you hope for. And as long as we continue this downward trend, as you can see, as long as we continue this downward trend, then the seller's going to be in control. But I am expecting some sort of short-term pullback or a relief rally in the silver and gold market. But that's what I'm seeing through there, and that's what I'm noticing through there. So now, guys, I'm not sure if you guys can see at all, but do you guys have access to the chat box there? I'm just trying to see whether you guys have access to the chat box or not. Is there a chat somewhere there? There should be. I know normally doing the other live. You know what? Let me go here. Let me see if I go live through here. I know normally doing okay, there's the chat box. Got screen. There's the chat box. It's on a different screen. Oh, how about those apples? There it is. Pop out chat for a minute. All right, cool. There we go. There's the chat box. Now I see it. Yes, got screen. No screen, yes. All right, cool. All right, fantastic, guys, fantastic. All right, guys, so that's what I'm seeing right now in the markets right now. Do not be worried about what's going on in the markets right now. Do not be worried about what's actually happening in the markets right now, because the overall Dow Jones and the S&P and all that sort of stuff. It's probably going to hold through here. It's probably going to continue rising. Remember, continue to trade with the trend. Continue to move up with the markets. This is not the start of some pullback. Remember that big gap there. Once we actually start to break past this high here in the Dow Jones, then we're probably going to race up to all-time new highs. And we're talking about gaps, right? We still have this gap here that the market is probably going to go and try and fill really, really, really soon in the markets. So that's what I'm saying there right now, guys. Make sure you continue to trade what you see and not what you hope for in the markets, and and continue doing that. And I'm in a few trades right now. You probably can see all these different trades I'm in right now. We'll just see how those go. Moving forward. There was one trade that I got out. One trade that I completed this week. I got in on this bar right here. So I entered on this big down bar through here. I entered right here, 5 minutes towards the close, and the very next bar, it obviously opened lower and then came down through there. So I got out of that bar through there at a 33%. That's the trade that I opened and closed and got out of. I'm in a few other trades through here. CTL is another one that I'm in right now. It's around 45% profit on this one. It may be more, it may be less. So this is CTL. This is another trade that I'm in right now. Again, I get in on the daily chart and I hold from 1 to 5 days, sometimes a few weeks. So we'll see what actually happens with that one. Ruth is one that I got into today. So this is what it looks like as of the entry. MASI, I've been in that one now for a week. This is the breakout bar that I got into. SRPT, I got into that one yesterday, so we'll see whether that one holds up or not. And soybeans, I actually shorted soybeans today. I bought put options actually on this, or SOYB. I bought put options on this one, and expecting a target of 1550. So we'll see what happens with there, guys. But again, none of these trades are guaranteed. I don't know which trade's going to generate a profit, so I'm not telling you guys to get in on these trades. I'm not telling you guys to trade these trades and all that sort of stuff. I'm just saying what I'm trading right now myself. The trades I'm in, majority of them do make a profit, and then, at 20 or so % of those will actually generate a loss. Which one of those? I don't know. So, but I definitely bought put options today on SOYB. Beautiful, beautiful setup on that one through there. So expecting a continuation down to 1550, and that's probably my trade done when if that does happen moving forward. So anyway, guys, a quick Q&A. If you guys have any questions, any stocks, anything you want me to look at right now, this is your time for me to help you guys out when it comes to that. Again, I'm not telling you what to trade, guys. I'm just showing you my trades that I've done this week and that I'm doing this week. I don't know which one's going to be a profit. I don't know which one's going to be a loss. So then just basically do that. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys have anything you want me to look at, then let me know right now, and I'll be able to help you guys out with anything that you've got any questions with right now. I know this is a bit different, but if you guys are actually seeing this live, like a live link, if you go to my homepage, I think if you go to my homepage and watch it live, there should be a live thing there. But yeah, so, and that's where the where it should be there. So, you guys have any questions at all? I'm pretty sure. Fun and dirt, good to go. Continue, good sir. All right, Texas here. Hey, Texas. So, guys, if you have any questions right now, I've got 5 minutes. 5 minutes for a Q&A. All right, fantastic. All right. Again, guys, go to my homepage. If you guys can't find a chat box on the Google Hangout thing, then go to my homepage, click on the live video from there, and you'll be able to see the chat box from there. If you guys are having problems seeing the chat box in the other thing, I'm not sure how this works on your end, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Hey, John, I bought 500 shares in TVIX. What happened if I bought 500 shares in TVIX. What happens if I hold it through the crash? All right, so TVIX, obviously a volatility index. The thing about that, now the thing is, Tessie, the very first thing I must say is what happens if you hold it through the crash? Well, obviously this thing is probably likely to spike and spike massively. Now, Tessie, will I be able to sell it at a spike at 100% gain? I don't know about that, but Tessie, let me ask you a question. Who says we're going to get a crash right now? Who says we're going to get a crash this year? Who says that this is not going to end up at $10 before we get the crash? Do you know what I mean, Tessie? So you just don't know. Like right now, the Dow Jones and the S&P, there's nothing signaling a crash right now, and it's not going to happen anytime soon. The market will start to give us some signs that we're going to start to see the crash, and right now we are not seeing the crash. Right now, we are not seeing any sign at all that we're going to see the crash happen. Now, that may, as the months roll on, that may change, but right now we're getting ready for another big run, I believe, another big run. So therefore, TVIX could end up at $5 before we eventually see the crash. But this is just continuing down, continuing down, continuing down. I wouldn't be buying this at all right now until we start to see some significant rolling over in the indices and also a rolling up on the TVIX. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, you do whatever you feel is best, but that's what I see through there. Buying this right now is very, very risky because you're trading against the trend. The trend right now, is completely up, so don't fight that trend. All right, cool. What will happen on Monday? Monday, I personally believe Monday or Tuesday, we're probably likely to completely turn around and probably even close this gap here that's actually formed right now. That's what I believe. Again, it's not guaranteed, so don't take that as that. But I believe there's a bit of a gap on the S&P Dow Jones. I believe it's likely to turn around and go from there. Down Monday, up Tuesday. We might get a bit of a down Monday. We might get a bit of a follow through. But the way that this actually closed, we didn't get a strong selling close on the Dow Jones, and we didn't get a strong selling close on the S&P. It was just it actually rallied, but it closed all the way halfway up, and there wasn't a lot of volume through here. A bit of a gap through here. So I believe that over the next couple of days, over the next couple of trading days, maybe Monday, Tuesday, we're going to rally back up and close this gap. And again, where is the trend? All right, do not trade against that trend. Where is the trend? The trend is clearly up. So don't fight that trend. Trade what you see, not what you hope for. But the S&P double top. The S&P has a double top right now, Testy. But what you must realize is that is that double top going to hold, or is this upward trend going to continue? As long as this continues to make higher lows and higher lows, Tesla, we're probably going to break that double top right now and probably going to continue up. Right now, what you're doing is you're taking a bit of a gamble. You're gambling based on the hope that this is going to be the top in the market and the market's going to crash. If I was a betting man, my bets would be on the continuation of this trend continuing until it's not. Exactly. This is perfect timing for a crash. Nah, it's not. The market would tell us, right? If the market's going to crash, it's going to start to do things like this, all right? We're going to start to see this on the charts. Go back and do your analysis and study, but we will start to do, things like this, right? So we'll start to see highs, lower highs, and rolling over. The market will start to roll over. We're not just going to happen here and then have a big drop down. Look at 1929, look at 1987, look at all the stock market crashes, and the charts actually started to roll over first. 2008, what happened? Lower high, lower low. So don't fight the trend. The daily chart will start to roll over first to tell us that now the market's getting very weak. Right? Please listen to me here. Don't take my word for it. Go back and study all the crashes in history. Tell me what the daily charts are doing. 1929, 1987, 2008. What happened? The market started creating lower lows and lower highs, signaling a downward trend, weakness in the markets before that happened. So we're not going to get a big, massive, just big drop down. The other reason why we'll get a big drop down if the market goes vertical, like it did late last year into early this year. When the market goes vertical like it did on the Dow Jones, that's when we're likely to see a bit of a significant pullback. If we're not getting that vertical spike, then we're not going to get a big drop down. Well, the probability of that not happening. We didn't get it. And how you can tell it's vertical is how far away it gets from the moving average. If it gets really, really far away from the moving average, then that's where you want to be careful, because it's getting now what we call price and time. It's had too much price. Now time needs to catch up, and that's when you generally get a bit of a sharp pullback. But if the market's not too far away from the moving average like it is right now, it's just in normal territory, normal trending territory right now. And again, I would not be fighting this upward trend. Very, very, very strong upward trend. Very, very strong upward trend. So I definitely wouldn't want to be fighting it. Trade what you see, not what you hope for. Trade what you see, not what you hope for. It's so, so, so important. And people trying to predict the crash. Why do people want to short the market when it's been going up? And they want to buy the market when it's going down. People want to continue to buy gold and silver right now when it's going down. People want to try to short the market when it's going up. Stop trying to pick tops. You'll be right once, but guess what? By the time you're right, you'll be blown out of the water. I can guarantee it. If you zoom out to 2008, it has the exact same double top and the exact same with 2000. I test here again. What you're doing right now is you're trading what you hope for, right? You hope it's going to be a double top. And as I said before, Testy, if you go back to 2008, you'll start to see. Actually, let me do this right now. Right, let me bring up, say, a 6-day chart, and let's go back to 2008. This is 2008. What did we see on 2008? Oh, look, we had what? We had a double top. We had this low, then it came down, made this lower low, lower high. Look, the market's starting lower high, lower low, big crash down. Does that make sense, Testy? So before any significant drop down in the markets, which is going to cause the volatility index to start spiking, you're going to see some rolling over. Now, this is a 6-day chart, basically a weekly chart. You're going to start seeing that. Now, we may be at a double top right now, but this setup here on the S&P is nothing like what we're seeing right now. This here is over the space of 1, 2, 3, 4 months. This double top's over the space of 4 months. For the last 8 months, we've been going sideways, building up a lot of time, just going sideways. So it's not the exact same. Testy, right now you're trading what you hope for and not what you see in the markets. And it's so critical that you just trade what you see and not what you hope for. And you're hoping right now that this is going to be a top. And I'm telling you right now, it is the worst thing you can do for your long-term success in the markets. AMD, what am I seeing right now on AMD? Let me bring up the daily chart on AMD. Okay, I'm just doing this because I care, Testy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be right or wrong with you. I'm just trying to. AMD. What about this, Ben? What about AMD? I'm going to go in 5 minutes, guys. But I'll keep this going for the next few minutes. AMD. Trade with the trend, right? The trend's nicely up. So don't. We've had a big run, so I would expect some sort of a bit of a pullback here on this weekly chart, but that's not the changing a trend. But I would expect some sort of decent pullback out of this. But right now we'll continue to make these higher lows, so very, very nice. And we still got a signal of a 10% correction in late January. Yeah, possibly. I think the signal for us was that we're going to get a drop down. Was that one? It was too far away from the moving average, so we got a big vertical spike. And secondly, we started getting some big drop downs. So we got a big drop down here around this level through here, and this big drop down through here with the increase in volume started to see the pullback. And guess where the pullback happened, right? Back to the moving average, which is my 52 moving average. So when you have a nice pullback back to the moving average, that's price resetting it, all right? Guys, it's important to go back and watch my chart. There was a few videos ago that I did about price and time and where we are right now in the markets. Don't be trying to fight that trend. Are you in cryptos? Not right now, Gerda. No, not right now. Why would I want to be buying cryptos when it's just making lower highs and lower highs and lower highs? Doesn't matter what the fundamentals say. I don't care what the fundamentals say. Fundamentals say Tesla is a really, really bad stock to buy right now, but somehow it just keeps going up. We might get a little pullbacks right now, but this is Tesla right now. But and we have a little bit of a drop down through here right now, but Tesla's one of the biggest, shortest companies out there. It doesn't make any money. Trade what you see, not what you hope for. It doesn't matter what the fundamentals say. Wait for it to turn around on the charts. I know it sounds so important. I know, I appreciate it. We will see what happens on Monday. Do you factor in the contagion of the Turkey Eurobanks? Again, Testy, no, I don't. No, because that's not going to cause a big stock market crash in the markets. Hey, David. Great to see you, my man. The EU banks have lots of positions with Turkey. So you know what, Testy, again, that stuff out there, that's not gonna matter. It really isn't. There's gonna be a lot of things happening with Turkey and trade tariffs and all this sort of stuff. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, Testy. And I know this sounds really simplistic, but if the charts are not starting to roll over, creating a lower high, lower low, we're not going to get a significant crash. The only way we're going to get a significant pullback is if the market becomes overextended away from its moving average, saying there's too much price, and now time is to catch up, and now therefore we get a big pullback. That's all that happens in the markets. So I don't factor in that. What you do, and the reason why you can't factor that in, Testy, is because that's just therefore you're trading in what you hope for and not what you see. What about Win and Cat? They are leading indicators of a recession. No, I'm not sure where you heard that from, Testy. The leading indicator would be the Dow Jones. That'll be the leading indicator because that's the big one. That's the top 30 stocks on average. So if definitely not Win and Cat. Win is just a Win Resort. That's just Win Resorts. Caterpillar, that's just a construction company. How are they leading? They're not leading indicators. Tessie, I'm not sure where you're getting that advice from, but my personal thing is think of it logically. For me personally, the leading indicator is the Dow Jones, not the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq or the transportation average. The leading indicator is the Dow Jones. And the reason why I say that is because, again, it just makes sense, right? That's the average of the top 30 stocks in America. If the top 30 stocks in America on average are starting to roll over, then it just shows you that something's not right in there. And again, if you go back and watch many of my videos are from there. The whole point, guys, I'm not here to be right or wrong with you guys. I'm just here to share with you guys the things that have really made a difference in my trading. And every time I try to, guys, I did this back into, guess what? I did this back in the election. Donald Trump's going to win, so I should short the market. It's going to crash. Or Brexit, it's going to crash the market. Or, you know, silver and gold's going to explode because of everything that's there. And blah, 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 all this sort of stuff, right? Guess what happened? The total opposite to what people think. And at the end of the day, what was the chart doing? The chart was showing us higher low, and especially like the Dow Jones, right? Let's go back to this weekly chart. This is when the election happened. And I know this sounds really simple, but the election was right here. This is where the election is right there. So this is where the election was, right there where my arrows are. And guess what the market was doing at that time? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, breaking past previous highs. Big bullish upward trend. There is no need to be thinking that this market's going to crash. And then suddenly, wham, the market continues up. The charts are king. The only truth in the market is the chart. And I guarantee you guys, if you try to fight against the chart will always win. The charts are telling us right now we're in a big booming market and we're making higher highs and higher lows. Until that changes, don't trade on what you hope for. If someone else says you are, and if you think something's really, really bad, guys, everything is opposite to the markets. Everything is opposite in the markets. If something seems really, really bad for the markets, it seems to be positive for the price action. I don't know how, but that's what it seems as. So, gold and silver charts, 99 silver. I looked at those before. Gold and silver charts right now, very, very, very weak. I wouldn't want to be buying silver and gold right now, based on what I'm seeing right now. And what I'm seeing right now in the Dow Jones, it looks like it's building a bit of pressure, and I do see a lot more upside to come, especially that gap there. Again, we may get a bit of a short-term pullback, but until this overall major trend has changed, until on the S&P 500 we get a major break out of this whole upward trend, don't be fighting the trend. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. Don't be fighting the trend. Don't be fighting the trend. Trade what you see, not what you hope for. If the market is continued to show strength in the markets, don't try and fight that, because the charts always win. The charts always win. It's not the news or the fundamentals and all that sort of stuff. If you're trading the markets, hoping for a move over the next few weeks, next few months, then forget about the fundamentals, because it just doesn't matter in the market. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. I have to go. I've got something going on. But thanks very much, guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this session here. I try to do more of the market updates live like this, because it's really good interacting with you guys. Again, guys, I'm coming here, guys, not to be right with you guys. I'm coming here because I really care about you guys, and over the last 15 years, I've done some really, really stupid things in the markets. And I've learned some big lessons. I've lost a lot of money in the past by doing these really, really bad things and really stupid things in the markets. And the reason I'm telling these things is because I really, really care. And I want to help you guys move forward. So, all right, guys, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.